are you today? Okay, all right. So last time we studied Unit 5, right? Normally we would do speaking, reading, and then the writing part, and then the presentation, right? But this time, because we can't do the writing part and the presentation, we'll just move to Unit 6, okay? Now, what is the title of Unit 6? A great person in history. Say it again, guys, one more time. A great person in history. Very good. Now, there is a word here, history. What is history? That's right. So, history is anything or any person or any event that deals with the past. Very good. And if we're talking about history, of course, we have to use the past tense form of the verb. That's right. All right. Now let's look at the warm-up. All right. And these are the expressions we're going to learn today. All right. We're going to talk about the people and their jobs and what they did from the past. All right. So the first is inventor. Repeat after me, guys. Inventor. Good. All right. Now, what do inventors do? They invent many things. That's right. They invent many things. Next, here is a, repeat after me, guys, composer. One more time. Composer. Very good. Now, what do composers do? They compose great musical pieces. They compose great musical pieces. That's right. Next, over here. I think this guy is very familiar to you, right, guys? Who is this guy? Okay? That's correct. All right. Now, who is he? What does he do? He is a scientist. All right. Now, what do scientists do? Okay, they make scientific discoveries. Right, look at Einstein. He looks so smart, right? Okay, so what does he do again? He makes, or they make, scientific discoveries. Very good. Next, how about this guy? Okay, what is his job? What did he do in the past? He was a, repeat it after me, political leader. Say it again, guys. Political leader. Okay, now what does a political leader do? They lead the nation. They lead the nation. Very good. Next, a writer. Okay, what does a writer do? Okay, they write great stories. They write great stories. Very good. Next. Okay, here is a philosopher. Say it again, guys. Now this is important, okay? Your pronunciation of this word should be really clear because there is a PH here and PH here. Now the PH here sounds like F, okay? So you have to say philosopher. One more time. Philosopher. Very good. Okay, now what does a philosopher do? Okay, a philosopher teaches the meaning of life. That's correct. And the last one is artist. Yes. What does an artist do? Okay. They make great works of art. Right. They make great works of art. All right. Now let's look at these pictures one more time. Okay. Now, is there anybody here in this picture that is familiar to you? Okay. Look at their faces. Yeah. Who is this guy? The artist here. Very good. He's Da Vinci. Okay. He drew the Mona Lisa. Okay. And who else? Anything? Nobody? Okay. Who is this guy? The inventor here. Right. He is Thomas Edison. Very good. How about this guy? He's one of the most famous presidents of the United States of America. Okay. You're great. All right. Now, let's go to the warm-up questions. All right. Now here's question number 1. Who do you admire? Who do you admire? So the word admire here means who do you respect? Who do you look up to? Okay? So you can write here without considering any of the people here from the pictures, you can think of any person that you admire, but it has to be someone from the past, okay? So, I admire blank. You have to write like that, incomplete sentence. Okay, next. What did this person do? What did this person do? Then you can write here, for example, if you chose Thomas Edison, then you can write he invented the light bulbs. Okay? Like that. So he, write your answers. Okay, are you guys done? Alright, finished? Then if you're finished, let's go to Ella's story. Okay, today's story is from Ella. It's the name of a girl. Okay, now normally I would ask you to get your red pens, but today let's just read together. Okay, repeat after me. Okay, let's start. The person I admire. The person I admire the most is Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison was an inventor from the United States. He was born in 1847 and died in 1931. Edison invented many things. His most famous invention is the light bulb. Thanks to Edison, we can see at night. Edison was smart and wise. However, I admire Edison most of all because he never gave up on his dreams. He failed many times before he invented the light bulb. For these reasons, I think Thomas Edison was a great person. Okay. Alright, now let's talk about this article. So according to Ella, who is the person she admires the most? It's Thomas Edison. So like what I said, what's the meaning of the word admire again? Someone you look up to, or the other word could be respect, right? Okay. And then, why did Ella admire, or why does Ella admire Thomas Edison? It's because, one of the reasons was because he was a very famous inventor. From what country? Very good. He was from the United States. Where is the United States? Okay, so you can call America, America, or the United States of America, or the United States, or US, or USA, or the States, or America, all right? And then, he was born in, when was he born? Very good. 1847, and died in 1931. Okay, now before we continue with this article, I'd like to give you a little grammar lesson. Okay, this is very important, guys. If you're talking about a year, you always have to use what preposition? In. Very good. Okay, always use in. In 1847, in 1931, in 2000, in 2020, in 1990, always in. You never use on. When do we use on? Okay, if we're talking about a date with the month and the year and the exact date, that is on, okay? Now, how about if we are just talking about a month, like for example, July, August, September? Very good. You also have to use in July, in March, in April. Okay, guys, this is very important. Okay, thank you. Now, let's go to the next sentence. His most famous invention is the light bulb. Okay, thanks to Edison, we can see at night. Edison was smart and wise. However, what's the simple word for however? But. Okay. However or but. Actually, I admire Edison most of all. When do we use this phrase, most of all? Okay, because you are stating so many other reasons why, but there is just one favorite, or there is the number one, the real reason, the top reason. Okay, that's why you say most of all. And the most reason is because he never gave up on his dreams. This is so important. He never gave up on his dreams. He failed many times before he invented the light bulb. What does it mean failed? That's right. He did something, he invented something, and then it didn't go well. He tried again, and failed, and tried again. That's why it says here, he never gave up on his dreams. Okay, and he failed many times before he invented the light bulb. Now, for these reasons, I think Thomas Edison was a great person. All right. Now, who do you admire, guys? Does this person that you admire is similar with Thomas Edison, who failed many times but never gave up? Okay. Okay, do you have any questions regarding the article? No questions? All right, now let's answer the comprehension questions. All right, the first question is, who was Thomas Edison? Now, to answer this question, there are so many ways to explain who Thomas Edison was. So you can just say, he was an inventor. He was. Or you can start from here. Okay. Thomas Edison was an inventor from the United States, if you want to answer in complete sentence. But also you can answer, Thomas Edison was famous for his invention of the light bulb. You can also say about that. Or you can say, Thomas Edison was a smart and wise inventor. That's okay too. Alright? Now let's go to question number 2. Alright, what did Edison do? He invented the light bulb. He invented the light bulb. You have to use the past tense, invented. Okay, guys? Alright. Now listen, the writing basics, the writing basic 2, writing practice 1, and writing practice 2, it's your homework, alright? But I'm going to give you some ideas on how to do that because this one could be a little complicated, alright? Now for writing basics 1, here's the instruction. Read the information about these famous people. Complete the sentences like the example. So you can see here, there is the name, okay? There is the name of the famous person. The occupation, what is occupation? It means job, okay, or career, that's right. Country, you know that already, or nation. The date the person was born and the date the person died. And accomplishments, what does it mean? Okay, very good. So accomplishments means the things that this person invented and succeeded. Alright, did and succeeded. Alright, so they are called accomplishments. So the first is here, invented many things, invented the light bulb. Alright, now how do you fill in the blanks? The key is here for number 1. You have to write the name, the occupation, and the country. So for example, Thomas Edison was an inventor from the United States. Now you have to add here was an. And because inventor starts with letter I, which is a vowel. But if it starts with a consonant, you can say was a composer, was a philosopher, right? Okay, next. Here, born and then died. So what do you write there? He was born in and died in. So you have to add this. Was born in. Well, if it's a guy, then you have to use he. Now, if it's a female, then you have to say she. Okay? And then died, again, there is in. Died in 1931. Okay? And then the accomplishments, he. This one you have to use the preposition. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The right pronoun, not preposition, okay? He or she. And then the accomplishment. Did you get that, guys? All right. Okay, so there's two more people that you have to do. Please do that later. And then there's actually 5 more people to do. Now, for the writing basics 2, So this is just matching type, okay? If you look here, writing practice 1, match the phrases and write the sentences like the example. For example, thanks to Edison, why? We can see at night. So there is just one specific answer here, alright? So you have to know what they did, these people. So for example, Newton. Okay, so what did Newton do? What did he do? Did he help us understand gravity better? Okay, so you can write here, thanks to Newton, we can understand gravity better. Okay, Isaac Newton. Do you guys know him? I'm sure you do. Okay, next. Look at the example and write the sentences in the same way. Alright, how do you write it in the same way? You have to write from here. Okay, his most famous invention is the light bulb. Okay, now in here, for example, this Isaac Newton. How do you write it here? His most, do I write invention? No. His most famous scientific theory is the theory of gravity. Okay, very good. Do you guys have any questions here so far? No questions? Alright, now let's go to writing practice 2. Okay. Now for your writing practice 2, this is a little more complicated because I'm going to highlight, you have to add this I admire, and then most of all, and then there is, okay, the pronoun, and then the past tense, okay? But the example is Mozart studied music very hard. Okay, so how do we write that, okay? Listen guys. First, you have to write here at the beginning of the sentence, I admire Mozart, okay? This is the person, right? Most of all, because, okay, and then he or she. He, alright, study. What is the past tense of study? Studied, okay? You have to remove Y and add IED. So let's start again. I admire Mozart the most because he studied music very hard. Like that, okay? Did you guys get that? Should I give you another example? Okay, let's talk with Keller, Helen Keller. So you can write here. How do you do that? I admire Keller the most because Helen Keller is a woman, okay, was a woman. Helen Keller, I admire Helen Keller the most of all because she never complained about her disabilities. That's right. Okay. And for the last part, unscramble the sentences, alright? Admire the person is the most, I, Thomas Edison. Now this is a crazy sentence, right? They are all mixed up. You have to unscramble them and write the correct sentence here. Now, if you don't know how to write the correct sentence, you can get some hints from the article if you go back to the previous page, alright? So what is the answer for number 1? The person I admire the most is Thomas Edison. Very good. And now listen guys, the organizing part, the drafting part, and also your workbook, and also your portfolios, and also the thought unit writing, everything is your homework, alright? I'm so sorry guys, but please do your homework. They may sound a lot, but I'm sure you are a little bored at home by now, so it will be nice to do your homework, okay? Alright, so that's all for today. Goodbye!